Pick your head up, you ain't gon' believe this. It's your boy Squint talking that shit. Go and tell him what it is. Just a man and his podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. One by one, it's a tag match. Either way for me, cause I'ma make a bloodbath. TST, make you see stars when I throw hands. Keep on spitting bars after bars, like the cage, man. I'ma get the Hardy Boys off the ropes, make it rain, man. You ain't seen a dry damn thing. You get it? You keep on talking shit and the referee count your digits. That's that 1, 2, 3. When he finally get up, he can't say his fucking ABCs. Look, pick your head up, you ain't gon' believe this. It's your boy Squint talking that shit. Go and tell him what it is. Just a man and his podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. One by one, it's a tag match. Either way for me, cause I'ma make a bloodbath. TST, make you see stars when I throw hands. Keep on spitting bars after bars, like the cage, man.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Squint here with another episode of A Man and His Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, a returning guest. He is the talk of the town. It's Steve. How's it going?
Very well, sir. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no problem. So, we're just going to get right into it. Why? Why are you teaming with Sean Ross Sapp to face the Rejects?
For the dogs, man. Yeah, I'd said ahead of time before I wrestled Cole Radrick 2 years ago that was going to be the last one. And I was really happy with that match. It probably should have been the last one. Well, we may be talking about my other matches, like Undertaker talks about every one of his matches after 2018 or whatever. But it was the opportunity to do something new, something different. The Rejects are a fantastic team, fantastic talents. Sean is special in his own way, kind of like I am. We both tend to draw the wrong kind of attention. So we're going to get some eyeballs, and it's already worked. Like, we already have the corporate sponsorship for Podcade, which is just insane. The draws are already doing their thing.
Yeah, so how did that come about? The Garage Bear sponsorship. How did that, like, because out of nowhere I just seen that it was all over the poster. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I guess Garage Beer put out a tweet saying they came into some extra money and were asking for suggestions, and I believe it was Zane who lobbed it up to the Garage Beer gods, and they commented, hey, that sounds awesome. I jumped on it right away. Garage Beer also sponsors the Laps Fan podcast. Posted a picture of myself in the Laps Fan gear. They talk about me every so often on their show. So, hey, I'm Laps adjacent. You know, it would be another way to exchange your brand, so to speak. And yeah, within a few hours, we got it done.
So you mentioned in your promo, and I think a lot of people didn't know this, but the arena is, believe it or not, a PG venue. So Reed and John Wayne, they cannot bust a light tube over your head. They cannot grab skewers and jab them in you. They can't do all their shenanigans, some would say. Do you think that gives you and Sean the advantage? Because Sean, to my knowledge, has some martial arts experience.
Yeah.
You are a well-renowned pro wrestler, some would say. So,
yeah, and they're coming at me like I'm some jabron off the couch, man. I am trained. I trained at 4400 Shepherdsville Road, the same building that launched 1,000 careers. When I showed up, CM Punk was just about to win the title in that building for OVW. I'm not just some schmuck off the street. Just because I haven't done it in a long time, people forget about me because I'm a smartass on the internet. But that's part of what I do, man. I bring the expectations down, and then I rise above hate, so to speak. But as far as I know, the only person to have ever hit anyone else with a light tube in that building is the owner of the building, Too Tough Tony. There's wrestling in this area had a bad reputation for a long time. partially due to the deathmatch stuff. So that was one of the rules, was no bleeding, nothing that could cause permanent injury outside of the scope of a professional wrestling match. Of course, wrestling is dangerous. Anybody could be hurt. But no unnecessary risk, no light tubes, no barbed wire. I want to say no fire, but I don't know that one for sure. That may be the loophole they get me on. But yeah, it's going to cause them to come outside of their comfort zone. I tried to find some tape to study from those boys, and I couldn't find anything that wasn't deathmatch. So that does put me in a little bit of a blind spot because I don't know what they can do really, but also they don't know what I can do. So it really levels the playing field.
Exactly. So I'm imagining you and Sean have been talking back and forth about your guys' game plan. Without exposing it too much, have you guys been talking about certain moves or certain styles you guys are going to work in this tag team match? Are you guys going to divide the ring in half and conquer? Or are you guys just going to use your speed and agility against them, or what?
You may not know this, Squints, but I'm old as shit, and I'm a bit on the fat side. Speed and agility does not exist in my world. I stepped into the ring for the first time 20 years ago. So I'm a vet without the experience, which is crazy. But yeah, anybody who follows me on Twitter knows I'm watching wrestling all the time. And lately I've been watching a ton of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Smoky was a very, very, very tag team heavy promotion. So don't think I'm watching just for fun, man. I'm taking notes. I'm noticing cutting the ring off, distraction spots, seeing what's worked, seeing what doesn't work. And yeah, we're going to have to, I don't want to undersell Mr. Reed and Mr. Murdoch. Those are dangerous men. I am not taking this lightly. I'm treating them with the utmost respect, and I'm not going to get caught slipping. So we are going to do everything we can to keep them on the back of their feet.
So, one part that I have forgotten to mention in this match, Jim Fannin will be in their corner. Does that concern you guys that they will have technically a third member of their team? While he's not in the match, he is... I'm not too familiar with his work, but from what I've seen is he can be a bit of a ruckus on the outside. Does that concern you guys?
If Jim Fannin's there, he's in the match. That's Jim. He was a manager during the peak of IWA Mid-South when everybody who went on to become a millionaire came through that territory. So not only did he manage some of the best, but he got to see some of the best up close. You can't help but learn when you're 3 feet from the ring watching the best people do their thing. When I signed on for this, I did not know Mr. Fannin was going to be involved. In fact, I contemplated reaching out to him to see if he'd be on our team. And instead, he went with Mr. Reed and Mr. Murdoch, which makes sense. They're all IWA brethren. They all worked for nothing for Ian's leftover burritos. But in fact, we can kind of look at this from that angle. It's the IWA boys, the IWA training versus the OVW training. And these were competing camps in this area for a long time. We finally get to see which style is better come June 27th.
So it's starting to sound similar to the CZW versus Ring of Honor tag wars that I am kind of familiar with. It's battle of the two top indies in the Midwest, I guess you would call it. So I guess my next question is this really your final time? Or let's say after the match, Sean hits you with a low blow or some shit. I don't know how Sean operates. Are you going to have a match with Sean?
I don't want to look ahead. I don't even want to put that thought in my head of wrestling my partner. Because we have to get along. We have to coexist. At least for one night. If he chooses to nut shot me afterward, that's on him. But I am publicly in this forum right now giving my word. Then I'm not going to fuck on Sean Ross Sapp. Now, if he, for whatever reason, gets a hair up his ass and blames me for some stuff, that's between him and his God. But for one night, we're going to be cohesive. We're going to be the heavenly bodies minus the allegations. We are going to do the damn thing and get it done.
While I laugh, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some comments real quick. That one broke me. Papa Kenway says, Steve and Sean going to turn the wrestling world upside down. Twitter's most wanted tag team of the year. Which, I don't know how the PWI tag team rankings work, but will you guys qualify for a ranking on the PWI tag teams, or...
You know, you ask a very good question. I'll have to reach out to Kevin McElvaney for
I was gonna
clarification
say.
on that. God knows he's been shunning me for years from the PWI 500. So if this is what it takes to get me back in that magazine, I'll take it.
You've been in the magazine before?
In passing, yes,
Oh,
there was an article. I say an article. It's probably more of a column written about Crusher Bones a few years back.
okay.
And his son is on Twitter, tripping balls, and now
Yeah,
becoming
shout
more
out
active
Trippin'
in
Balls.
the independent wrestling scene. And I was quoted in in that article about the late great Crusher Bones.
Okay, okay. So yeah, you were in there. Papa Kinley also says, so I shouldn't have hit Ben with the spatula at Paulcade 5. Oops. I
You should always hit Ben. I'm kind of upset that I've never got the opportunity to hit Ben. He's got a very punchable face and a very spatula flattening face.
So I know you're saying that, but do you think it might be beneficial if you and Sean talk to Ben and say, hey Ben, they have Jim Fannin, can we have you in our corner? Just to kind of level the field.
You know, Ben already has his hands full right now. His Ben Sheeran brand is imploding at the seams. Since you and I last saw each other in Spencer, there have been some defections from the Ben Sheeran brand family. So yeah, now's not a good time to take Ben on as a manager. He's not going to have his eye on the prize. He's going to be Shawn Michaels. He's going to have one eye in Nebraska and the other eye in LA. We can't have that.
Right on, right on. And then we're going to go ahead and pull up some questions because people did leave questions for this. Let me go ahead and pull them up. Here we go. Chan Smith, the enthusiast Chan Smith. Ask him to hit the overdrive, please and thank you. Are you going to consider working that into your moveset, the overdrive?
What is the overdrive?
If I remember correctly, it is MVP's finisher. The leg over the head, they're bent over, and
That's what I
to be
thought.
honest, you take most of the damage. The opponent does not.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that's what it was. I have no interest in doing that move, and if anyone else does that move in the match, I may just walk out in disgust. There's not going to be any overdrives, and there's not going to be a Tower of Doom. I can tell you that right now.
Oh
We
God.
we came for wrestling. We didn't come for mean bullshit.
And then Chad also, the man that booked this damn thing, he said, "Tell him I heard a rumor that this may become a tag team championship match." Once again, that's coming from the promoter, so it's starting to sound a little less like a rumor and more of a prediction. So
Now-
would say.
Now, when I left after the Cole match, I put out a list of things I never got to do in this business. One of them was win a title. So if that is an option, that may be what hooks me to stay around. If there's a chance for me to pursue gold, besides these thousands of dollars worth of gold behind me, for me to actually hold a belt that I won, well, what more motivation do I need? I've had everything I've ever wanted in life, except for a championship in wrestling. So it may be time to take this a little bit more seriously and step my game up.
So if you do win a tag team championship at Paulcade, where would you put it on that shelf? Because that shelf looks mighty full. That shelf looks like there's no room for any more. Are one of them going to get moved to the floor? Is one of them going to just have to share a shelf?
I don't need room on the shelf for that belt because that one's going to be around my waist at all times. I'm going to go to work with my tag team championship belt.
Okay, and you have like a office job, right?
I do.
Office. Okay.
I'm a weekday 9 to 5er kind of guy with a real grown up job, and I will gladly wear my tag team title for the Midwest Territory in these business meetings.
Speaking of your job, I know a couple weeks ago there was some vending machine issues. Have they fixed that?
Yes, I'm proud to report that after about 2 weeks, they were able to finally. They kept restocking the machine, but there was no way to pay for the food, which is hilarious, Rip. I see the Doritos right there, man. I'm starving. I just want them, but nobody carries cash anymore.
No.
So, yeah, they finally got the Wi-Fi situation fixed to where that machine is able to take cards again.
You need Wi-Fi to use a vending machine?
If it has the card reader or the touchless, yeah, it needs to be
Yeah.
connected to the internet to process that transaction.
That's insane. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
Well, you can hook it up to not require that, but what happens is that people will use cards that are no longer functioning. So it's a big time scam, failsafe, having it connected to the internet.
Okay. Okay. And then the one thing that people know about me is that I am a sucker for mid 2000s MTV and mid 2000s reality shows, and I promised the fans I would talk about such things on here. So, and I feel like you're the perfect guest to talk about that stuff with, because you are one of the reasons I got into the real world, believe it or not,
Nice.
and all of that. So, I guess my next question is, if you could invite any mid 2000s MTV star to Paul Cage 6, who would it be? And
Oh.
why?
Well, mid 2000, does Pauly D count in that?
I would count him, yes.
All right, if Pauly D counts him, he's by far the most charismatic person that the whole MTV reality show train has produced. I mean, he's made for wrestling. He's all energy. He's got the distinct look. He's a hell of a promo. You remember when they sent the girls to the city in the cab, and they came back all pissy, and Paulie poked his head in. He said, "Look, you're mad at me, and I just need you to know that I had nothing to do with it." It was great. Like, he just did the shithead thing, but you couldn't stay mad at him because he's a very likable guy.
Yeah. He's also, I just finished watching it for the third time with my brother. I got my brother hooked on it. And he's also, like, a very chill guy, but when he's not
Yes.
chill, it's almost scary. Like, when he starts
Yes.
raising his voice, someone in that house fucked up drastically.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
is. He's Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Be nice until it's time not to be nice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. So then, my next question is, we're going to stray away a little bit from wrestling for a second. I got to ask you, what rankings do you put the seasons in from best to worst? Because I've recently rethought over my best season, and I'm
Alright.
just curious on what yours would be.
Got my notepad out for this. We're gonna get in the trenches. All right. So season 1 was The Shore. The Angelina crying in the bathroom and getting kicked out because she had to go to work or whatever and all that bullshit. So then they went to Miami, then back to Jersey Shore, then Italy,
Italy would be 4, yeah.
and then back to the shore. All right. So for me, Italy was probably the pinnacle because it built to the fight the whole season. You got Mike withdrawing off the opiates, just being the most miserable fucking heel that ever lived. And then Ronnie, who is also not a saint, and they're just at each other. And I believe that was during the off season was when Mike and Snooki allegedly hooked up.
Yes.
I mean, they did. Come on, Snooki just
It's alleged, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, Snooki just she didn't want people to know, and Mike was a fucking idiot, so he's telling it like he had too many details of that story for it to be made up. Yeah, that season really built to something, whereas a lot of it is just kind of season 1. I enjoyed a lot. That's a whole lot of meeting the characters. You get the early team building experience of Snooki getting her ass kicked by the grown man. Yeah,
Which
I'm
that
a,
guy tried suing MTV. The guy that punched Snooki tried suing MTV. He's like, "You guys are ruining my character," and everyone's like, "Brother, you punched a woman."
yeah,
Like,
you punched a tiny woman at that. Like,
Yeah.
This wasn't Nia Jax getting up in his grill. This was a 4'0" woman that he knocked on her ass.
yeah. And then season two might be my favorite, just because it's constant bickering, I guess you could put it. Just they're always arguing with each other. The Miami cocaine was really fucking with them, I think. And it's just, and then Angelina, she finally left for good, and then
No, have you read
That's that.
Situations? Have you read Situations book?
no, I'm actually gonna order it this week because I need to.
Yes.
It's not on Spotify for audiobook, and I'm gonna have to actually read, but I'm excited to read it. Have you read it?
Yes, I did. I read it when it was new. Mike has lived a life. He has a bunch of behind the scenes stuff from that time. Let him tell it. This could be true. That the whole idea of Jersey Shore was built around him. That he was the first one that they met, and it may have been for something else, and they followed him around, and they're like, oh wait, we can build a show around this guy, and people like him. What he's failing to remember is there's an MTV True Life about a shore house back in the day, with these. They weren't as charismatic as the crew, but they were the same lifestyle. You know, young people on the shore for the summer, no responsibilities, being sluts or whatever. Yeah, he was real big into, like, he was moving drugs before he was famous.
Yeah.
He had a lot of great stories about that.
I seen him on a podcast, and he told the story of, I forgot what season it was, but they had found out that he was going to the tanning salon to pick up his pills. I forgot what pills he would be on. And anytime he would go tanning, he would have to get like a police escort almost. Like they'd have all the producers, all the security guards with him to make sure he wasn't going in to buy the pills.
Yeah.
And they told him he had to go to a new salon. And apparently he says he jumped out the car and barrel rolled and ran inside and grabbed them and took them all. And I was like, I don't believe any of that, because they would have put that on TV. They absolutely would have.
Yeah.
Because one thing about MTV is they will make sure everyone sees your lowest point in life, I feel like.
Have you watched much of the Family Vacation?
So my brother, he's watching it, and I'll like sit in and watch some of the episodes with him. We just actually watched Ronnie and Sam rekindle their existence, I guess. Like they just finally are in the same room again, and it's fun. It's weird. It's fun though.
Yeah.
It's very awkward.
Yeah, I watched right up until like mid-season after Sam came back. And then I just kind of wandered away from it. That's what you do when you're old. You forget you're watching stuff. I need to get back to it.
I mean, my brother, he's watching it in order, and he's trying to catch up in time to watch it, the new season. But it's the Sam and Ron stuff is just so awkward. And it's still great TV. It's like the episode of Ron showing back up. They're like showing flashbacks like you would see on Raw. And it's like season 3, and it's just Ronnie just flipping a bed and smashing shit. And he's like, and they're like, Sam, how do you feel about this? And she'll just have like a flashback of it. And I'm like, oh, that poor girl. He put her through hell. Hell and a half.
It's been almost 15 years now. And they're, at this point, the Family Vacation's going on longer than Jersey Shore did.
Yeah.
Family Vacation started in like 2018. Mm-hmm. Here we are, 2026, 8 years later. They're still pumping these things out. They gotta, I mean, you're dealing with the trauma, that's one thing, but now you're willingly hooking yourself back up to the train for the money.
Well,
you can't have one without the other.
Yeah. They're doing press for the new season, and I seen a video of it's like Sammy, JWoww, and Snooki, and they're watching the whole iconic Ron, stop, fight. I'm like, they're making this poor girl watch this whole damn fight again, knowing damn well that she probably had that pushed way back, and they're making her rewatch it.
She punched that man in the face though. Like
my god,
people have been kicked off of reality shows for less.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Angelina. She got kicked off for not going to work, but no, she punched the shit out of Ron, and kudos to Ron for not getting knocked out. I guess he just took it. That was crazy. Or the JWoww back fist to Sitch at Atlantic City. That one is because they hooked up and they didn't show it on TV, but that's funny. So who do you think's the best fighter on that show? Because they've all gotten a fist fight for the most part, almost.
Ronnie's shockingly good. I thought he'd be a little too muscle bound, but that one on the boardwalk when him and Sam were arguing on the way home, and he's piecing him up and talking shit to him the whole time. I would say it's probably really Paulie, but he hasn't had to show it. Paulie walks with the confidence. I think there's a reason he hasn't had to engage, because people know they're going to get fucked up. You can't walk around looking like that and not be a tough guy.
No. Do you remember when Roger stiff-armed JWoww at the club, and JWoww like literally sprained her ankle, and he's like, "Is she really milking this shit?" And they're like, "No, Roger, she you shoved her to the ground."
Well, J-Wild
Like,
went at Sammy that one time, and Sammy stood her ground and didn't back down.
my brother put it best. JWoww might be the most all bark no bite on the
Yeah.
show because she is always trying to fight someone. It every time she gets her ass beat. Like, and for someone that says you can stay get your ass beat,
Yes.
she stayed and got her ass beat a few times. Like, I think she would have been able to take Angelina, but Sammy destroyed her in the Miami house. It's crazy.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. Papa Kenway's talking about this with us. For the right price, she was more than willing to watch that horrible time over and over again. Oh, well, yeah, that's. Sam. The only reason Sam came back is because MTV added a comma to the asking price. That's absolutely got to be it.
Well,
And
she
same
saw
with
she saw the train pulling off without her making money, and she's like, "All right, I got to get in on this."
well,
I
same
don't
with
blame her.
Angelina. Oh God, no, I would absolutely. And it's funny because the episode we're on, she's like, going on vacation with your ex sounds like a horrible idea. And I was like, lady, you can leave. Like,
Yes.
and they'll follow you with a camera still. They'll still record you in your other day to day life. You don't have to be, because it ain't even a family vacation half the time. It's just like a 8 season long Where Are They Now series, is what the show seems like. So, my next question is, what's your fondest memory of the TV show on MTV Ridiculousness? If we're talking iconic shows that went on too long on MTV.
It was election night 2020. I was up till the wee hours in the morning. I was sick. I probably had COVID, but the testing wasn't sophisticated enough yet. I couldn't get tested for like 4 more days. And we're up in the middle of the night. They didn't have a winner. So when they ended the coverage, I flipped over and Cheaters was on. So I watched an episode of Cheaters for old time's sake. By this point, it's close to 4 in the morning. And I turned over to MTV. I said out loud, "Watch, I bet your ass Ridiculous is on." And sure enough, it was. Yeah, it's on all the time because it's a good show. As much as we talk down on it, just because it's low effort and it's on all the damn time, it is a more vicious America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
And Rob, as a 50-year-old man, he still looks like an undercover cop in a middle school. But the young people like him. He speaks their language, so why not?
Yeah, ridiculous. I remember when it first came on the air. And I remember being like, "Oh shit!" It's like you said, it's America's Funniest Home Videos, except you have a guest and it's just West Coast laughing like a freaking dolphin in the background every 5 seconds. No, that show, I don't know. They tried a new one, Awesomeness or whatever. Did you ever see that? It was like a talent show, I think.
Yeah, there was a handful of them for a minute. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was hosting one. Yeah, it got muddy for a minute. I didn't follow them down any of those paths at all.
And then to cap this off, I ask every person this. This is a new question from the last time you were on. It's not a Jersey Shore question. This one it's a two-parter. One, what is your favorite scene from Jackass? I think I know what your answer is, but what is your favorite scene from the Jackass cinematic universe? So we'll include the Viva La Bams, the Wild Boys, all of that.
Still boxing, probably. Still boxing, it's hand-to-hand combat on stilts, but you get a whole lot of personality in that.
Yeah,
It's an extended segment. You got the referee. You got he pushed him. That's the last act of a desperate man. Like, you get so much great banter in that. I love that, but my favorite is probably Gumball Rally.
Okay.
Two-part episode where they're racing across Europe. I have quotes from that I still incorporate in my day-to-day life. The Russian police, they're stern but fair.
It's been a while since I've seen the Jackass television show, but I bought the box set for the Jackass movies, and then fucking 2 months later they came out with Jackass Forever, and now they have the new one. So now I have to get those two DVDs. But then my next question is, what is one Jackass stunt that you think you could confidently do? That
Keep God
you
out.
would do?
Keep God out
Which
of
one?
California. Keep God out of California. 100%. Everything they wrote about me was a lie. You can read about it all. I invented the circumcision. They were spying on me.
I love that one. That one cracks me up. I think an underrated one I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is, I forgot the exact name of it, but it's the like the main event, you would call it, of Jackass #2, where they put, I think it was Danger Aaron in the back
Yes,
of a
Aaron.
taxi cab, and they glued all their pubes to him, and they made him think there was a terrorist driving.
Yes.
Because this is only like 5 years removed 9/11. That's the thing
Right.
people seem to forget. So that one was hilarious. Or I love the high five. That one's just so iconic. I mean, they included it in a WrestleMania match, for crying
Yes.
out loud. Like, but yeah, no, the Jackass movies, those are all great. Are you excited for the new movie, or what's your expectations for it?
It opens the same weekend as Pocket. So right now my working plans are to have the match on Saturday and catch Jackass with my daughter on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, my expectations. I mean, a lot of the guys are. We saw it in Jackass Forever, how they had to bring in the new class because a lot of those guys can't take those bumps anymore.
Yeah. Oh God,
uh,
no.
And part of it was, Danger Aaron. The reason he was so prominently featured was because he was the only one physically able to do a lot of that shit. Yeah, depending on. I mean, the new crew's pretty good. I'm interested to see what they cook up this time. And I almost hope. I mean, there's a lot of old footage in the trailer. I almost hope instead of just a straight up new entry, it is a bit of a trip down memory lane. Like maybe every third bit is a new one, and it's almost
Yeah.
like a best of. That would satisfy me as an old head. I was 18 when Jackass started. Like, I was the perfect age to latch onto that. So to watch most of these guys be able to grow old and still have their wits about them has been incredible. So I certainly would not mind making it a best of almost.
So you were a teenager when it first hit the scene. Were you and your friends doing the Jackass stunts that they said at the beginning? Don't try this at home. Were you and your friends out there driving shopping carts in the parking lot into bushes and stuff?
No, I didn't hang out with white boys, man. So
No.
we didn't do that shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, a lot of it's very Caucasian, and a lot of it's too. And people don't give them credit for this. I don't think. Now it's what you call progressive. Back then, a lot of it was just what we would call gay. But
Yeah.
a lot of it was like gay chicken. Like they would take things as far as they could, just short of man-on-man action. And God bless them for that. That was a confidence I did not have when I was 18.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's I forgot what somebody tried saying like I seen somebody trying to say Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass crew were all homophobic or something, and I'm like, they are probably the furthest from it. They are as close as you can get being gay, and also, but they're that strong of an ally, I guess you could call them. But
Yeah.
God, those guys, they put their body on the line more than most wrestlers. It is insane.
Oh.
Like Johnny Knoxville chased after the bull, getting a good scene from a bull for 4 fucking movies before they finally told him, "Listen, dude, you almost died. You gotta stop."
Well, even
Like-
Keith got out of California. There are people punching Pontius in the face, and he's keeping composure. And said, "That's not very Christian of you."
God, Pontius is a very underrated
Yes.
person, like cast member. I feel like people think of him as just a party boy, but he's more than a party boy to me.
So that is the one thing I did do back in the day, when the Jackass movie came out. I would party boy. By that point, I had internet access, so I downloaded the song and put it on a CD.
Yeah.
And we lived in a basement. Me and my roommate Bill was a young African American gentleman. There were some absolute hotties living above us, and first nice day of the year, they happened to be having a bachelorette party. So we went for it. Bill, he'll kill me if he doesn't tell the story on the internet. We worked with a guy who was a male stripper, and he was trying to talk Bill into joining this trade with him. So Bill had gone so far as to buy the cheetah, so to speak, but he had two. So he threw one to me. We went up there, knocked on the door, like, "Hey, you guys are having a party?" Pushed the play. Burr, 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 burr.
That's incredible.
We
That
ran
is
amok, got our hugs, went back downstairs, and those girls never looked our way again. I was hoping
Well,
we
no,
could
but you
start
still got that
something.
core memory. You still got the core memory of doing the party boy at a bachelorette party. That's like, for any Jackass fan, I feel like that is like the peak moment. So, that's awesome. That's awesome. So before we wrap this up, do you have any? We circled back to wrestling. I told you we would. Before we wrap this up, what final words, or I'm sure you're gonna do more of these, but what final words for now do you have for the rejects?
Don't take us lightly, man. Do not take us lightly. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Being here is all right, but best believe we want more. I might have Twitter fingers, but I also got real life hands. You're going to see for yourself come June 27th.
Awesome. And then the final question: if you could give anyone a piece of advice, it doesn't have to be related to anything specific, just any advice. What would it be?
Always commit to the bit. No matter what the bit is. The bit could be something serious. It could be, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to lose weight. Whatever your thing is, commit to it. No half measures. Like Big Daddy
Alright.
Kane said in 1988, ain't no half stepping.
And then, is there anything you would like to plug? Your social media, anything you want to plug, you can do it here.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky, which I forget that I'm on, at Not Dr. Death, NOTDRDEATH. If I have you blocked, my bad. You probably pissed me off at some point, or you said something that was so dumb that I knew we would never need to interact. Sometimes I get that wrong, though. I mean, there was a guy at Girl Fight who turned out to be super cool, and he gave me his Twitter, and it turns out I had him blocked. Whoopsie. Of course, June 27th, Pawcade 6, Jeffersonville, Indiana, the world-famous Jeffersonville Arena right across the street from Louisville, Kentucky, just minutes from downtown. You can get your tickets at MidwestTerritory.com, or you can make a direct donation to, I think the charity's called Misfits and Friends Rescue.
Yeah, Misfits and Friends.
Yeah. And also coming up soon, I have an appearance on The Contrarians. WeAreTheContrarians.com for that. We review a Gina Carano movie ahead of the Gina Carano-Ronda Rousey fight coming up next weekend.
Okay. I know I said we're going to wrap this up. Who do you have in that fight?
Rousey, easily.
Yeah. That's what I don't know much about Gina Carano, but I just read that it's been like 15 years since she's stepped foot in an octagon, so
2009, and she wasn't a bad fighter, don't get me wrong, but she came around, she was out of the game right before the women got really good, which is kind
Yeah.
of what happened to Ronda too. But yeah, Ronda's got a world-class pedigree going back to her childhood. Like, her mom would jump on her while she was asleep and put her in arm bars. So she's been waiting her whole life for this moment.
oh my god, I did not know that. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Anyways, on that note, thank you everyone for listening. As always, leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down, 1 star, 5 stars, or don't. I don't give a damn. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at YourBoySquints. Follow me on YouTube at YourBoySquints. Follow Steve. And I better see you all at the Jeffersonville Arena on June 27th for Pole Cage 6 so I can watch Sean Ross Sapp and Steve kick those bastard rejects' ass.